Hello, Simmers. This is your captain speaking, and we are ready to record another NIMBY Rails video. If you've been watching so far, you've seen us work with the looking at the main menu or the startup menu here at in the opening screen. And I don't know why that pop-up keeps coming up, but it does. And we've also looked at the tracks menu and built, talked about how to build tracks and stations and so on. And I told you in our last video that we're going to be looking at creating some lines and orders and trains in this video. If we have enough time to do that, we're going to try to do all those things. And in preparation for that, I have created somewhat of a simple track layout for Chicago. This is certainly not all of the train system in Chicago. I tried to get some of the tram system in here. Most of this is the above ground tram that goes through downtown Chicago and all around. But not very much subway in here or anything like that. So certainly nowhere near complete, but it's enough for us to get a look at the process that we want to look at today. In future videos, we'll look a little more closely at these toolbar buttons up here in the upper right. We may look at some of them while we're working on the on this today, but we're not going to be getting into any detail. So let me tell you what I've got so far. We've got the blueprints set up for several tracks and stations, and these stations, as much as possible, I've tried to reproduce the names of the stations or some of the stations that are in Chicago. And I believe that most of these names are related to the streets and the intersections where these stations are found. For example, Washington Wells will be at the intersection of Washington Wells, and Washington Wabash is at the intersection of Washington and Wabash. There is a loop in the center of town that we have reproduced here. And then there are other tracks that go out further away from the downtown area, or away from the center of town anyway. Chicago is an awfully big place. Lots of tall buildings there. And what I'm going to try to do, I think, is we'll create several lines to service this area. I'm not going to try to reproduce the lines that are in Chicago. That would just be too much for us right now. But we'll probably create a line that takes this track into the downtown area. And I haven't decided yet exactly how we're going to manage this loop. I think maybe it'd be good just to have one or two trams continuously circle in this loop, maybe going opposite directions, so that we have that area serviced well, and then maybe one or two in these offshoots, one or two over here, and maybe just one for this one right here since it's so short. And then we'll see if we can get it to run. Now, before we can do that, we're going to have to build out our blueprints. And so we come over here under the track mode, and there's a button right here that says build all the blueprints, and we just click that button and it'll build the blueprints, and we'll be charged almost $92 million for that. We've got plenty of money, so we'll go and build all of these out. And there we go. And now we're ready to start creating the lines. Let's go over into the line mode now, and to filter, let's see, how do we create lines? I thought that it would be right there, but it's not. Oh, here we go. Here. Sometimes it's kind of hard to find these if you don't do them every day and forget about where they're at. But here we can create a new line. We can create a new depot line. And then there's clone the selected line, issue an intervention, delete selected line, and pan and zoom view when selecting a line or station. So let's create a new line, and we'll call this the red line, and we'll take now bright red for our color, and we'll call this and the code for this will be R1000. All right, and display in map. As a loop, a non-loop, or disabled. The loop is the default. And the service level now is closed. When we add trains to this, we want to come back, remember to set this up as a passenger service so that customers can begin to use it. We're not going to worry about tags. We'll talk about tags a little bit more when we come over and look at this, but you may want to remember this. What this is to select trains, or you select trains that have certain tags, and they will run on this loop if they have the tags that you selected. We're not going to be concerned about that. We'll take the default timings at first, and the auto run line, we'll take that at first. Might want to tweak that after we get going. But so now that we've got the red line, we need to set up where the red line goes. And we're going to make the red line this track from Polk into the downtown area and back. So let's go in, and we want to create waypoints along the line, stops along the line. So we'll click this button, and we start clicking where we want the trains to go, and so on. So here we'll start at 2N at Polk. And we'll come up, and our next station will be 1E. and that was at Ashland. And we'll go 1E for Morgan. And 1E for Clinton. And we're going to let it go to 1S for Washington Wabash. If they want to go to these others, then they'll need to get off this tram and get on one of the other trams that goes to those locations. And so now we want to go back to Polk, and we come back here and we'll click to West. And that was 2 West for Clinton, 2 West for Morgan, 2 West for Ashland, and 1 South for Polk. But we don't need to add that because Polk is will automatically end the that route. So that is the red line. And so we've got one of the lines completed. And let's get us a couple of trains for this one. And let's look for something, a city tram. We'll go through and see which of these do we want. This city tram is cost $40 a day. The dimensions of the tram are 6.5 meters by 2.4 meters. Let's see, maximum passengers 40. Let's keep looking. How about the elastic petard? Let's see what that says. Elastic petard. This is 20 by 2.9 meters. It will carry maximum passengers 0. That's not very good. Let's go and take a look at let's see, I saw a good one that I had the other day. See if I can find that one. "100 passengers. It's about 15 meters long. Not a bad price. And the maximum speed is 110 kilometers per hour. That's well above the maximum speed that we need. So let's purchase 2 of these for the red line. Ooh, 14 cars. Wait a minute, that's not what I intended. No, that's not what I want. Oh, this is what I should have been looking at for length. I didn't realize what I was doing. I was just looking at each individual car there. That was wrong. Okay, so what a big mistake. Let's go and find another four cars, 84 meters, carries 204. Four cars, 107 meters. Three cars, 25 meters, 126 passengers. That's the one that we want. There we go. That looks better. And let's see, we'll make this one nice bright red as well. And click replace. And let's see, go down here. Back to lines. And make a passenger service. And then that should start to run. Let's see if we can get time going and see if that gets things running. Timetable. What is this? Got a problem? Oh, that's what I've got selected. That's why that's flashing. Think. Oh. What is this? What is that? Telling me I've got a problem with that line for some reason. I think that's what that is, but I don't know why. Okay, we've got trains running now. This is at Polk. And I still don't know why that's being highlighted. But we'll see in a moment if it's able to run. There goes our train. I was able to run on that line that is flashing, so I'm not sure why it's doing that, but it seems like it's running fine. I wonder why that's white now. Well, I thought we only had 3 cars. What happened here to the 3 cars? Oh, here are the 3 cars. All right, I see. And I only got one of them replaced, apparently. And what did we do? What did we set up before for the other train? Sepia. No, that's not it. Vega? Was it Vega? No. Okay, this is the wrong one. That was wrong too. Yeah, it's not so easy to replace a train. Okay, replace existing trains with Vega. Let's try that. Okay, very good. Now we got that one. And let's replace this one with Vega. And it's also going to be dark red. And what happened here? All right, that looks better. It's not picking up any passengers. It must be late at night. We need to set up our schedule better so that it only runs during the daytime, I guess. All right, let's try another one. Let's get another one. And let's call it the green line. Copy that color because we want to use it later. And let's add some stops to it, and we'll start it down here at Indiana. We'll start with 2 West. And for this, we're going to go we're going to take a loop with this one. No, because that only allows us to go back that way. So we're going to go to Washington and then back to Indiana. Get some trains. I'm not sure. Let's try clone. I'm not sure what that does for us, but maybe. All right. We cloned it, and we want this one to go for green. And we'll paste green in there. And we want 2 of those. Now, 1 is enough for that one. All right, and go back to line and set it to passenger service. So now we should have green line coming up here in a few minutes. Here we go. And there's the green one going lickety split. All right, let's go back to the lines. We'll create a new one. And this line we'll call the yellow line. And we're going to add a stop here. And let's bring this one on into Washington Wells, and it will go back. There, that's good. Get some trains. We'll clone another one. We'll only buy one for this one as well. This is going to be yellow. Yellow. Purchase new train. And go back to lines, passenger service. Let's look at our timetable. Let's see. Oh, it's 1925. That's why we don't have any customers. Way too late. Well, we did get a bunch of customers in. 18. And you know, one thing we forgot to do with these lines, and let's go back and take a look at them again, is to make a charge. And our charge, we're going to have $3 for the base price of the ticket and 25 cents a mile. And do that for all of them. Let's see if we can make some money now. All right, we'll make another one called the blue line. Call it blue 1. Copy the color. Add some lines. Blue 1 is going to go clockwise around the and blue 2 is going to do just the opposite. Let's get a train, clone, blue 1, paste, purchase. Passenger service. $3. 25 cents per kilometer. And one more will be blue 2. Be the same color. And this is going to have the same groups, but it's going to go counterclockwise. We'll go ahead and call this passenger service, and we'll add a train to it. Clone, and it's already got the right color. I just need to set it to blue 2. Purchase a new train. Well, there we go. We have we have 5 lines and 6 trams running these lines. And we're using automatic timing on there, so nothing very sophisticated about that, and it's easy to set up. But eventually we'll need to come in here and talk about the setting up a timetable that is more involved in this. For example, in some places you don't want to run at night at all. It appears that we're getting some customers, at least into the downtown area, but some places you don't want to run at night at all, so you have to set this up so that that the trains will stop running in the evening. You do that by sending the trains off to a depot for the evening, and we'll have to set that up, create some depots for these, and I suppose that we may be able to do that the next time as we go along. We get information about how the trains are running by clicking on the state button over here, and we can see where the train is at, and passengers, the number of passengers getting on and getting off the train, how many are on the train currently, and so on. Now, I'm not exactly sure what this means, 112 to 126. I'll have to do a little bit of research to find out what that is. It is a passenger count, but exactly what it stands for, I'm not sure. We can clear up some of the clutter by going over into here and looking at the map options, and let's see what is available here. We can select things that we want to see on the map. We can turn the station names off, for example, and just take a look at we can see the stations on here well enough without having the station names. And the station names don't add a lot when you're at this stage of the game. You could have station icons show up instead if you wanted to see where the stations are, but for the most part you can see where the stations are anyway. And I guess that that does everything that we wanted to look at. We looked at the adding of trains and purchasing new trains and building them out the way we wanted. We looked at the lines to see how the lines are fixed. Didn't do much with the timetable. We just allowed that to be created automatically, and so on. Let's turn our train icons off and see what that does. What that is going to do is it removes those large train icons, and now you can still see the trains, but they're very, very small. See a light turning red there. And let's slow down our time. We're normal speed now. I kind of like the train icons. It makes it easier to see where the trains are at. And so the blue lines are just making the circle over and over and over all day long. Come into the depot and stop. Allows passengers on and off. No money that time. Let's see if this other one gets any money. Oh, I didn't set the blue up to charge. So let's go back and fix that. $3, 25 cents per mile. That one's got it already. Now all of them are charging appropriately. Passengers like the free service a lot. One thing I haven't done is set up any extra signals for the train. We could put some signals around this intersection to help things out a little bit, but I haven't seen any events occur right now. NIMBY does some of that on its own without, you don't have to set it up. We already have lights on the stations. Those are added by default. Now watch as the yellow train comes up and gets a red light and stops. And as soon as this time's out, and it will leave, and the yellow one will be free to go. Well, I believe that's enough video for today. I believe we have completed our objective. Hope that you have enjoyed this and that it has helped some in seeing how the lines and the trains are set up. The trains use these lines to get to take orders. And there's a subtle difference between a line and an order. The line is defined here. The order are the lines. You can you can give trains several different lines for it to follow, and those are its orders to follow. And for example, when we mentioned before the way that the timetable is set up by giving the train orders for it to follow, and that sums it up. Well, I hope that you've enjoyed this. We're going to go ahead and complete the video now, and look for you again in part 4, where we'll try to give a little more detail about what's going on up here. With this toolbox, we may get into some accounting, and probably we'll try to do a little bit more about the timetable as well, so that you can see a little better about how that is done. So thanks again for watching. We'll look for you next time.